What we think we become. The Buddha. Have you ever wondered why certain events in your life seem to repeat themselves? Or why some of your actions seem to come back to you in unexpected ways? What if everything you do, from your thoughts to your actions, is shaping the future you will live? Hello and welcome back to the Son.Mindfulness channel. We are so glad to have you here with us today. We all know that life can be full of surprises, but have you ever stopped to think about how much control you have over the outcomes you experience? In today's video, we will explore a timeless concept from Buddhist philosophy, the law of cause and effect. This universal law, also known as karma, governs every aspect of our lives. From the smallest thought to the most significant action, everything we do creates ripples that shape our future. It's not just about big life events. The law of cause and effect influences your everyday, often in ways you may not immediately notice. Are you curious about how this law plays out in your own life? As you watch this video, we will show you how understanding this law can bring about real, tangible changes. By exploring how karma shapes your experiences, we will give you practical insights into how to create a more peaceful, fulfilling life. We'll talk about how small, mindful actions, such as cultivating compassion, living ethically, and practicing mindfulness, can transform your future. Through the wisdom of the Buddha and real-life examples, we will help you recognize the power you have to shape your destiny. At Son.Mindfulness, our goal is to guide you on a journey of self-awareness and growth. This channel is dedicated to helping you explore ancient teachings, applying them to modern life, and ultimately leading you to greater peace, happiness, and understanding. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel and joining us in this peaceful journey of mindfulness and transformation. We are here to support you in every step of the way. So, stay with us until the end of this video where we'll dive deep into the law of cause and effect and its impact on your life. Let's uncover how this timeless principle can help you live with more intention, wisdom, and compassion. You don't want to miss it. Part 1. The foundation of karma and the law of cause and effect. 1. Definition and explanation of karma. Karma means action. It is not about rewards or punishments. It is simply the natural law of cause and effect. Every action, thought, and intention creates a result. Just as a seed grows into a tree, our actions take root in the world. Even small acts can have significant consequences. Imagine helping a stranger. You may not see the result immediately, but that kindness sets in motion a ripple of positive energy. Karma works in a similar way. Our good actions bring good results, while negative actions lead to suffering. Karma is not something to fear. It's simply a law that governs our actions. It's like gravity. It's always there, shaping our lives. 2. Examples of karma in action. Think about a time you helped someone. Perhaps you didn't expect anything in return, yet later, someone helped you in return. This is karma in action. Consider General Kato Kiyomasa from Japan. He once spared the life of a peasant who had broken the law. Years later, that peasant, now a leader, saved Kato's life. Kato's kindness had come back to him when he needed it most. This illustrates how small acts of kindness ripple through our lives. On the other hand, unkind actions also create ripples. Have you ever experienced the sting of a harsh word? The pain from that one moment can linger long after. Unkind words can come back to hurt us, even years later. Karma operates in both directions, bringing positive and negative results. It teaches us to be mindful of our actions. 3. The Buddhist view of karma. In Buddhism, karma is closely linked to intention. It is not the action alone, but the intention behind it that matters. When we act with kindness, we create good karma. When we act out of greed or anger, we sow the seeds of suffering. The Buddha taught that our minds shape our actions. When our intentions are pure, the consequences are positive. For example, giving alms can be an act of kindness. If done with the intention of helping others, it brings good karma. But if done for personal gain or recognition, it creates no real benefit. Mindfulness helps us understand our intentions. It allows us to notice if our actions are guided by wisdom or by desires. By cultivating mindfulness, we can make better choices. We can stop ourselves from acting impulsively and create more positive karma. The Buddha's life is a perfect example. He left his palace, not out of anger, but to seek the truth. His intention was to understand suffering and help others overcome it. This selfless intention created positive ripples for all beings. In Buddhism, every action, thought, and word is an opportunity to create good karma. When we act with mindfulness and right intention, we move closer to liberation. Now that we understand karma, we see how every action shapes our life, but karma is just part of the story. To truly break free from suffering, we must understand the cycle of samsara. In the next section, we will explore the cycle of samsara and its connection to karma. This deeper understanding will help us break free from the endless cycle of rebirth and suffering. Part 2. The cycle of samsara and its connection to karma. 1. What is samsara? Samsara is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It is often misunderstood as merely a physical process. In reality, it refers to the mental and emotional patterns that bind us. Each time we are born, we carry the seeds of our past actions. These seeds shape the life we live, the struggles we face, and the joys we experience. Have you ever wondered why we repeat the same mistakes? Why certain habits seem so hard to break? This is the cycle of samsara at work. It is not just a cycle of physical life and death. It is a cycle of mental conditioning. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions repeat over and over, often without us realizing it. This cycle creates suffering. Each time we act from greed, anger, or delusion, we reinforce these habits. They become habitual tendencies, pulling us deeper into the cycle of samsara. For example, the great warrior General Guan Yu, revered in Chinese history, was known for his loyalty and wisdom. Yet, his fierce temper and sense of justice often led him into unnecessary conflict. Despite his wisdom, the patterns of anger and attachment kept him trapped in cycles of conflict. Just like General Guan, we too can find ourselves bound by these habitual tendencies. We may recognize them, yet struggle to break free. Samsara, then, is not just a physical journey, but a mental one. It is the continuous repetition of actions, thoughts, and emotions that reinforce our suffering. 2. Karma and samsara. How does karma connect to samsara? Every action, thought, and word we speak creates karma. Karma shapes the patterns we form in samsara. When we act out of negative emotions such as anger, jealousy, or fear, we create unwholesome karma. This negative karma binds us to samsara. It keeps us repeating the same cycle, trapped in suffering. Our habitual tendencies, formed through repeated actions, reinforce this cycle. Consider the story of King Ashoka, once a mighty ruler in India. In his early life, he was known for his cruelty and war. But over time, the karmic consequences of his actions began to weigh heavily on him. He witnessed the suffering his wars had caused, and it led him to question the meaning of life. King Ashoka eventually renounced violence and embraced Buddhism. Through his transformation, Ashoka broke the habitual patterns of violence and anger. This is the power of understanding karma and how it connects to samsara. When we realize the consequences of our negative actions, we can begin to change them. However, breaking the cycle requires effort and awareness. It is not enough to recognize the patterns, we must act to change them. 3. Breaking free from samsara. How can we break free from the cycle of samsara? The answer lies in understanding karma and practicing mindfulness. Samsara is perpetuated by our habitual tendencies, but these can be changed. Mindfulness is key to this transformation. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and actions without being controlled by them. By being present in the moment, we begin to see the patterns that keep us trapped. When we are mindful, we can choose to act differently. For example, when faced with anger, instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause and reflect. By doing so, we break the chain of habitual responses. This conscious choice creates new karma, positive karma that leads us toward liberation. Consider the Buddha's own path to enlightenment. He spent years meditating and practicing mindfulness, observing his thoughts and emotions. He learned to overcome the habitual tendencies of attachment, desire, and aversion. Through mindfulness and meditation, the Buddha broke free from samsara. He showed us that it is possible to transform our minds and break the cycle of suffering. To break free from samsara, we must also practice meditation. Meditation helps calm the mind, allowing us to see the world without the distortion of our habitual tendencies. Through consistent practice, meditation helps us free ourselves from the grip of negative emotions and attachments. In doing so, we begin to transcend the cycle of samsara and move closer to true peace and liberation. Breaking free from samsara is not an easy task, but with awareness, mindfulness, and meditation, it is possible to free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. As we continue this journey, we will explore the power of mindfulness in shaping our karma. Mindfulness gives us the tools to break old habits and create a new path toward peace and freedom. In the next section, we will dive deeper into the power of mindfulness and awareness in shaping our karma. This will help us understand how to use mindfulness to transform our thoughts, actions, and ultimately our lives. Part 3. The power of mindfulness and awareness in shaping our karma. 1. Mindfulness as a tool for understanding karma. Mindfulness is one of the core teachings of Buddhism. It is the practice of paying full attention to the present moment. When we are mindful, we are aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This awareness is a powerful tool for understanding karma. Why is this awareness so important? Without mindfulness, we often act without thinking. We react impulsively, driven by emotions like anger or fear. These unconscious actions create karma that may bind us further in the cycle of suffering. Mindfulness gives us the ability to pause. When we pause, we can reflect on our thoughts before acting. We can choose our responses rather than being driven by automatic reactions. Consider the story of the great Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh. He was known for his peaceful presence and wisdom. One day, a student asked him how he remained so calm. Thich Nhat Hanh replied, "When I breathe, I know I am breathing." This simple statement reflects the essence of mindfulness. By focusing on each breath, he was fully present, aware of his body and mind. This awareness allowed him to make wise decisions, free from impulsive reactions. Mindfulness, then, helps us become aware of the seeds of karma we are planting. When we notice the seeds of anger or greed, we can choose to act differently. This awareness gives us the power to shape our own destiny. 2. How awareness of karma transforms our lives. When we begin to practice mindfulness, something profound happens. We start to notice the connections between our actions and their consequences. Have you ever found yourself in a cycle of frustration or anger? Perhaps you felt trapped in negative emotions. Mindfulness helps us see that these emotions are the result of past actions. They are not random, they are a product of our karma. By observing our thoughts and feelings, we understand the patterns we have created. For example, when we feel angry, mindfulness allows us to pause and ask, "Why am I angry? Is it because of something someone else did? Or is it because of our own expectations or attachments?" Through mindfulness, we begin to recognize the root of our emotions. Once we understand this, we can choose a different path. We can release the anger, let go of the attachment, and respond with kindness. This is how awareness of karma transforms our lives. It allows us to break free from habitual patterns of suffering. We stop reacting impulsively and start responding with wisdom and compassion. We begin to interact with others from a place of understanding. This change in perspective doesn't just affect us internally. It also has a profound impact on how we relate to the world around us. When we cultivate mindfulness, we create a positive ripple effect. Our actions, thoughts, and words become more aligned with wisdom and compassion. 3. Practical exercises for developing mindfulness. How can we cultivate mindfulness in our everyday lives? Here are 3 simple exercises to help you begin. 1. Mindfulness of breath. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Focus on the sensation of the air entering your nose and filling your lungs. As you exhale, notice the feeling of the air leaving your body. If your mind begins to wander, gently bring your focus back to your breath. This simple practice helps center your mind and brings awareness to the present moment. 2. Mindful walking. Take a short walk, focusing entirely on each step. Notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground. Feel the movement of your body with each step. As you walk, be aware of your surroundings, the sounds, the smells, the colors. This exercise connects you to the present moment and cultivates mindfulness in everyday life. 3. Observing thoughts without judgment. Sit quietly and observe your thoughts. Don't try to change or judge them. Simply notice what comes up, whether it's worry, joy, or anger. When we observe our thoughts without judgment, we begin to see them for what they are, temporary and fleeting. This practice helps us recognize the nature of our mind and release attachment to thoughts. Mindfulness helps us become more aware of our actions and thoughts. This awareness is key to transforming our karma. But mindfulness alone is not enough. To truly break free from negative karma, we must also cultivate compassion and wisdom. In the next section, we will explore the role of compassion and wisdom in overcoming negative karma. This will help us understand how to use compassion and wisdom to further transform our lives and break free from the cycle of suffering. Part 4. The role of compassion and wisdom in overcoming negative karma. 1. The power of compassion. Compassion, or karuna, is one of the central teachings in Buddhism. It is the heartfelt desire to alleviate the suffering of others. Compassion is not simply a feeling, it is an active practice. When we act with compassion, we are breaking the cycle of negative karma. Think about it. When you show kindness, even to someone who has wronged you, what happens? You create a ripple effect of positive energy. This positive energy flows back to you, transforming your life. In Buddhism, compassion is seen as a powerful force for change. It allows us to break free from the habitual tendencies that bind us. Consider the story of the Buddha himself. Before his enlightenment, he lived a life of luxury and indulgence. But upon seeing the suffering in the world, he became deeply compassionate. He left his royal life to seek a path that would end suffering, not only for himself but for all beings. Through his compassion, the Buddha transformed not only his life, but also the lives of countless others. When we act with compassion, we heal not just others, but ourselves. The more we cultivate compassion, the more we break the chains of suffering. Every act of kindness plants the seeds for a more peaceful future. It's as if we are creating our own path toward liberation by helping others walk theirs. 2. The wisdom of the Buddha. Compassion alone, however, is not enough. To truly overcome negative karma, we must cultivate wisdom. This wisdom is what the Buddha called right understanding, or right view. Right understanding is part of the Noble Eightfold Path. It helps us understand the true nature of karma. It teaches us that all beings are interconnected. Every action, every thought affects not just us, but everyone around us. Imagine a stone thrown into a pond. The ripples spread far beyond where the stone landed. In the same way, our actions have far-reaching consequences. Wisdom allows us to see beyond our immediate desires and impulses. It helps us understand the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. Through wisdom, we see the interconnectedness of all life. We understand that our actions, no matter how small, affect the whole. This awareness naturally leads to greater compassion. When we understand that everyone is part of the same cycle of suffering, we become more compassionate. We realize that by helping others, we are helping ourselves. This is the essence of Buddhist wisdom, seeing the truth of interconnectedness. 3. Real-life examples of compassion. Changing karma. Consider the story of Angulimala, a notorious criminal in the Buddha's time. Angulimala had killed many people, and his name struck fear into the hearts of all. Yet when he met the Buddha, something miraculous happened. The Buddha did not condemn him. Instead, the Buddha showed him compassion and understanding. The Buddha spoke to him with kindness, offering him a chance for redemption. Moved by the Buddha's compassion, Angulimala turned his life around. He became a monk and lived a life of peace and wisdom. His past, filled with negative karma, was transformed by the power of compassion. Another example is that of Mahatma Gandhi, a figure known for his compassion and nonviolence. In his fight for India's independence, Gandhi embraced compassion even toward his enemies. He believed that by showing compassion, he could break the cycle of violence and hatred. Through his wisdom and compassion, he transformed not only his life, but also the lives of millions. These stories show how compassion can change even the deepest negative karma. It's a powerful tool for transforming our lives and the world around us. Compassion and wisdom are powerful forces in transforming negative karma. Yet, while they are vital, they must be supported by ethical living. In the next section, we will explore the importance of ethical living in creating positive karma. By aligning our actions with ethical principles, we can create the foundation for lasting peace and happiness. Part 5. The importance of ethical living in creating positive karma. 1. Living ethically according to Buddhist teachings. Buddhism offers clear guidelines for ethical living. These guidelines help us navigate our lives with integrity and mindfulness. The 5 precepts are the foundation of ethical behavior in Buddhism. They are simple but profound. 1. Refrain from killing any living being. 2. Refrain from stealing. 3. Refrain from sexual misconduct. 4. Refrain from false speech. 5. Refrain from intoxicants that cloud the mind. Each precept is designed to reduce harm and promote harmony. By following them, we cultivate positive karma. For example, by refraining from killing, we reduce violence in the world. By avoiding false speech, we nurture honesty and trust. These actions create ripples of peace, not only in our own lives but in the lives of those around us. When we live according to these precepts, we align ourselves with the principles of non-harm and kindness. This ethical living sets the stage for spiritual growth and peace. 2. Actions speak louder than words. Have you ever heard the saying, "Actions speak louder than words"? In Buddhism, this truth is deeply significant. It is not enough to simply have good intentions. Our actions are the true measure of our character and our karma. Let's consider the example of the great General Yi Sun-sin of Korea. He was known for his integrity, even in the face of adversity. During the Imjin War, when the Korean Navy was outnumbered and outgunned, General Yi remained calm. He did not seek personal glory, but instead focused on protecting his people. His actions, guided by honor and wisdom, saved Korea from invasion. This is the power of ethical action. It is not enough to just think good thoughts or have good intentions. What matters most are the choices we make in our daily lives. Whether it's practicing honesty, nonviolence, generosity, or integrity, our actions shape our karma. 3. Examples of ethical living. Ethical living is not limited to grand gestures or heroic acts. It is woven into the fabric of our everyday choices. Have you ever helped a neighbor without expecting anything in return? This small act of kindness generates positive karma. Perhaps you've refrained from gossip, even when others were eager to speak ill of someone. By choosing to speak kindly, you break the cycle of negativity. Another example might be living in harmony with nature. When we care for the environment, we respect all living beings. This respect is a direct manifestation of ethical living. In fact, Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master, often spoke about the importance of mindful consumption. He encouraged his followers to consume with awareness, taking only what they truly need. This practice extends beyond food or material possessions. It applies to how we treat the world. Every choice we make, whether we're interacting with others or the environment, shapes our karma. Ethical living forms the foundation for creating positive karma. But as we continue on this journey, we realize that each of us has a role to play in this vast web of life. In the next section, we will delve into personal reflections on karma and its impact. We will explore how our individual actions, intentions, and awareness shape our experiences and ultimately lead to liberation. Part 6. Personal reflections on karma and its impact. 1. Personal experience with karma. Reflecting on my own journey, I can see how the understanding of karma has transformed my life. Many years ago, I found myself caught in the cycle of frustration and anger. I was constantly reacting to the world around me. A harsh word here, an impulsive decision there. They all added up. It was only when I encountered the teachings of Buddhism that I began to see the truth of karma. I realized that my actions, even the smallest ones, were shaping my future. The consequences of my negative reactions were building walls between myself and peace. Once I understood this, I began to change. Instead of reacting, I learned to pause and reflect. I practiced mindfulness, noticing my thoughts and emotions before they could control me. Over time, the habitual reactions that once caused suffering began to fade. Now, when anger arises, I acknowledge it but do not act on it. I let it pass like a cloud in the sky without letting it dictate my actions. Understanding karma has not only changed how I respond to others but also how I view myself. I am no longer a passive participant in my life. I am an active creator of my experiences. 2. The constant work of self-reflection. But understanding karma is not a one-time revelation. It is an ongoing practice. We must constantly reflect on our actions and intentions. This reflection is a key aspect of mindfulness. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns repeat in your life? Why do the same issues keep arising? These recurring struggles are often a result of past actions, both in this life and potentially from past lives. The good news is that through self-reflection, we can change these patterns. By becoming aware of our habitual tendencies, we can start to act differently. For example, if you find yourself repeatedly reacting with anger, take a moment to ask yourself, what is the root of this anger? Is it fear, hurt, or frustration? Self-reflection allows us to trace the cause of our emotions and actions. Once we understand the root, we can consciously choose a different path. Change is possible, but it requires effort and awareness. It requires the willingness to examine ourselves honestly. This is the constant work of self-reflection. 3. The liberation that comes with understanding karma. When we truly understand karma, we gain the freedom to transform our lives. We realize that we are not prisoners of fate or circumstance. Instead, we are the creators of our reality. Through mindfulness, we begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. We understand that every action, thought, and word has a ripple effect. By acting with compassion, wisdom, and integrity, we create positive karma. This positive karma opens the door to liberation. As we change the seeds we plant, we transform the world around us. The cycle of suffering of Samsara begins to lose its grip on us. Through mindfulness, compassion, and ethical living, we transcend suffering. We begin to live with greater peace, understanding, and joy. Understanding karma is not just a concept, it is a way of life. It is the key to liberation from suffering and the path to a more fulfilled existence. As we come to understand the power of karma in our lives, we realize that the present moment is where transformation begins. In the next section, we will explore how embracing the present moment can shape our future. Through mindful living and conscious choices, we can craft the life we desire and transcend the cycle of suffering. Let us now look at conclusion. Embrace the present to shape the future. Conclusion. Embrace the present to shape the future. As we come to the end of this exploration, let's reflect on the core messages of this journey. The law of cause and effect governs every aspect of our lives. Our actions today shape the life we live tomorrow. It's not just a distant truth, but a reality we experience every moment. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns repeat in your life? Why some struggles seem to return again and again? This is the law of karma at work. Through mindful awareness, we begin to see the direct connection between our actions and their outcomes. By cultivating positive intentions, we begin to create the life we desire, free from suffering. The key takeaway from this journey is that you have the power to shape your own future. Karma is not a force that controls you. It is a law you can work with. It's a law that allows you to plant seeds of kindness, compassion, and wisdom. Seeds that will eventually bloom into a life of peace, joy, and fulfillment. So, what steps can you take today? Start by applying the principles of karma in your life, beginning with small, mindful actions. It's the simple gestures, a smile, a kind word, a moment of patience that set the foundation for a positive future. Cultivate compassion by understanding the pain of others. Live mindfully by observing your thoughts and emotions before reacting. Embrace ethical living by following the basic precepts of kindness and non-harm. These small conscious steps accumulate, transforming your life and the lives of those around you. Remember, each action you take plants a seed in the world. Choose wisely and watch how your life transforms. I am deeply grateful to you for taking the time to explore these teachings. It is my sincerest hope that these lessons have resonated with you and that you can begin to apply them in your own life. You have already taken the first step toward transforming your life by seeking out wisdom and understanding. Now, continue your journey by embracing the present moment with mindfulness and compassion. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. What steps are you taking to embrace the law of karma in your own life? I invite you to subscribe and continue following our channel Son.Mindfulness. Together, we can build a community of growth, understanding, and peace. May you be healthy, happy, and at peace, and may you find the wisdom to navigate life with ease and grace. Thank you.